fall to rove. So we've landed a few parts here, and I'm just going to go through some of them. The most obvious one there is the biggest one in front of you. There is a Ferguson 20 diesel pump in fairly crusty condition. Probably left outside for 25-30 years, I'd say, judging by the look of it. But something's turning. I've yet to touch it. It's fairly complete. I didn't even try to see is it turning. Could be interesting, so let's throw a spanner on that and see. But it sure is one of them things that's just getting a little bit rare. Some of these are actually kind of a BSP or a BSF thread and nuts and bolts. Okay, it is turning. Jesus, that's surprising. Turning very easily anyway, but I didn't obviously do a full rotation there of that, but that is cool. So it is fairly complete. Needs a good blow down with an air gun. It needs a good cleaning up and wire wheeling, and then I'm going to plug all of these and maybe give it a quick shot blast. Obviously keeping this protected, I'll have to tape up that big time. Don't want that getting in there. So it should clean up nice and you can start stripping down a little bit then. Another one here part is just gear stick. I like this because it's nice and it's not worn. The spring's a little bit loose, so you just literally take this off and then stretch the spring. This should be a kind of a square machined surface there for pulling that off, like so. Give it a blowout with an air gun, give him a stretch. This helps keep him in gear as well. So that'll all get the attention it deserves in due course. So I like that. It's not worn. Dynamo that I got off 20 diesel, I think it's a little bit newer than what should be on it, and I'm not sure if that should be on it. It is coming up as the proper, I think it's going up to the proper part number. Okay, so there is 983 stamped on it, so I'd say it must have been reconditioned in 1983. Some people, and CH, so whatever company that stands for. Came with its bracket. Part number is here. I think these are meant to be, if I'm not mistaken, so C39PV2. I think that's probably right. So I do. And it's coming in as a 57, I think. It's actually just sort of getting a wallop of something there. I don't know, is it 6.7 or 5.7? But it definitely looks like 5 more so, in which case I'll just have to get a better look at some pictures and see. The only thing that looks different compared to my gold belly is this. That fitting was on some of the earlier ones. This definitely looks newer. The back was, when this was being overhauled, they put this back on it with new brushes in it. I don't know. I haven't tried it for turning yet. Let's see what size this is. So that's a 11/16. So if we go next size up, do 3/4 there and give that a quick spin. See if it responds a bit better. I'll get a 3/4 and come back. Right, so just go topping because we can tweet it off. I'll very quickly just see if I can get it turn out of it. I'd be surprised very slightly. that's going to be a fun one, but one that we can clean down and leave in a bucket of diesel there for a while. I think that'll be the best thing to do there. Yeah, not surprising, that's okay. Next on the list is, I have to soak in this already. It's late 12 volt Ferguson 20 distributor, coming in 1952, and the part number 40298A. So that is definitely your later. So 1952, 3, 4, 5, 6, I suppose. One of the cap clips is a bit damaged. This one's there. I took out the, what did I take out? Yeah, I took out the condenser because it's a nice original Lucas one, and I just scratched the back. That's dated to 19, I can see here, 67, so that was definitely replaced. But I like them because they're just that bit of they're good fit, they're good fitment, and they're good quality parts. So I'm definitely going to keep him. Have another one of them up there already, so I can't as yet get this turning. It has only just been soaking just from earlier today. It was left without the cap, so that's that moving anyway. That's something. I gave it a fair good soaking now. So we should be able to get it motoring. And of course I can get a new bearing for it if I have to. So pints. It's fairly full of diesel there at the moment. With that loosened, haven't tapped it up out of the casting yet. I thought it was a better idea to tap the casting than to be tapping the distributor, of course. We have this loosened off here. I don't know what, oh yeah, no, this actually looks fairly original there. It's just a big nut on the end, I think. Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting little project, considering we've spent so long working on the distributors. We'll try and quickly lift the points plate here, and I might just tip out a bit of this diesel because I'll have to turn it on its side. Okay, so that's a bit better. Plenty of diesel in it there anyway, that's the main thing. So out with these lovely screws. BDA screws, I think they're called. Now we'll just try and take off that lad there. I think we're talking something around an 8 on the inside here to hold it, I think, is it? Sometimes they're bigger. That one seems to be a bit bigger. Go the next size there. So that'll hold it. And on the outside here, we're looking a little bit bigger as well. So I'll get over my Imperial sockets here, and we'll match one up fairly quickly. 30 seconds. Okay, that should do it there. I'll put a little screwdriver fitting, and that should be enough, hopefully. No, we'll just put the socket on and the ratchet on. Okay, that's that off. Handy enough. Let's get a little tray for parts. I just want to lift the points plate on this really and just see what's happening underneath. See what condition we're in. Now, more parts there, we'll keep all them together. We're kind of used to these at this stage of the game now. Done a nice bit of work on them lately, so we'll get a snouty pliers and lift up the top of the points. off that. If they'll come up, they could be a bit rusty. Ah yes, slowly. Slowly is right. They don't look like instead of Lucas ones anyway. It's just a little bit murky now. Okay, so there's, okay. This was fitted wrong because this was on the outside, this should be on the inside. That's alright. Get that bolt out, might be able to lift it all out. The point's still on it. Okay. So that's fairly well rusted, but we can take them 2 pillar screws off. They're actually not in too bad condition. They'll clean up nice, so they're good spares to have. In here is, yeah, just as you would expect. Yeah, not great. Not great. Wow. That's going to take a bit of cleaning, but it's okay. I'd say we'll win it eventually. Wow. That's the worst one yet now we've seen, but what do we do with that? We get a adjustable. I'm just going to put this onto that cam. So I'm not going to grip it too hard now, but I'll try too hard. But oh yeah, there we go. That's not too bad. We got movement. Oh wow. And it's lifting off it. That is amazing. So I'm going to take a picture of that there. So we have a reference, as much as they all probably are the same. I'm just going to make sure I have a picture of it taken, and that'll do, just to make sure it goes back right. So I'll pause the video and take a picture of that. Okay, that job is done. Okay, how's that spring there? It came off it anyway. It's not broken, that's good. This is a little bit sticky on there, is it? Not too bad. Okay. These are on the wrong side as well. My God. So this is never going to work. Springs are attached on the outside. They should be attached on the inside, if I'm not mistaken. That's what's written in the workshop manual anyway. Yeah, that's very grubby now. I have to say they're bloody quality springs. They've lasted this feckin' long and they haven't rusted. But that's actually fairly worn, that connector in there. It's actually fairly worn. Never seen anything like that. It's nearly going on crooked because of it. So that's definitely going to need to be replaced, which is no problem because I have spare ones. This side here, see, does this one lift? Fairly grubby, lads. Fairly grubby. Same thing here. I'll have to ring someone and find out, is that right? I don't think it is. So that leaves it a little bit looser and do its thing. Whereas when you put it in the outside hole, it tensions it a bit more. And I think it probably rubs on the cam as well, or kind of angles. That's just a bit neater looking. It's not, you know, turning it in there. That's fairly solid. That could be, oh yeah, That bearing is my god, that is crusty. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay because it's once it comes apart. Now, mind you, the question is, the roll pin in it could be a bit of a nuisance. Now, this might end up just being a parts distributor. Anyway, interesting, all the same. Interesting. One cap clip here anyway. Could be useful again. Jeez, that's a strong old split pin there. Have to get the, I think I might have to get the distributor out of that before we go routing it in. But it's true to say now that the casing of these, at least, just never really suffered from much corrosion. You know, you very rarely see them in bits like. Lovely. Right, that will come out anyway. It's just a matter of probably getting a bigger pliers at it now. Oh, broke off. So that was never going to really work. Anyway, it was never going to be strong enough. And I think what's happening here as well is it's kind of a little bit sticky in there as well. Just a little bit. Yeah, so that was just too far gone. That's okay. That's not the most important part at all. I have a feel here. Is this still turning with it? We'll be able to cut it out then if we really have to. Ah yes, slowly coming out there anyway. That's what happens, forces of nature and rust and all that. Yeah, boy. That's okay. It's too thin anyway. It was never, the more I look at it now, it was never going to work, and I'm sure you can buy them if you need anyway. God. This on the other hand here is not looking great. It's very pitted. I probably have a spare one there. I think of one spare. Yeah, I do. But we'd have to just go measuring and making sure they're the same. And let's take a look at my spare one. So I do have a whole spare one here in good nick. Just needs a bit of cleaning, but it's all there, and we could swap over the springs then to. I just wouldn't be confident in that. It's too far gone, considering them weights have to slide on it easy. Okay. Shit. I don't know. I might give this a tap out now, run the device and try and tap out the distributor, and we'll get a look at what condition the shaft is in. Okay, so we got the distributor stripped down fairly well. I'm just leaving it soaking there now. So I'm just going to have a look at this throttle butterfly here, Venturi. See if we can save this Jubilee, because it is the original style. Ever worth saving if you can widen it. It'll be hard to widen that. it's nice to save these original Jubilees if you can, except because they're only a flat's kind of a single slot. They could be, you usually end up wrecking the slot in them. So I try and get the screwdriver with the widest head on it. It's just been a little bit, if we got a turn or two on it, we'd get them. When I get this off, when I blow it all out in an air gun, clean it up a little bit and then start soaking it. This is actually, the more I look at it there now, it's, God, it's not in good nick there. Oh, it actually is turning a little bit, yeah. It's not the greatest one I've ever seen now. The more I look at that now, it's not great, but I could probably drill that out and fit. Yeah. Probably work with that if I had to. This I can cut off if I have to, but I do like to keep them. It's hard to slot that. I might have to get the Dremel with the cutting disc and slot that a bit. So I want to be as easy on it as I can. It's only a matter of getting a turn or two on it and it will go. So another little trick here is, because this is always too long, is you can grab it with the likes of a tin pliers like this, and you will destroy the threads, but to be honest with you, this Jubilee is only going to be good for this pipe anyway. We don't need all them threads, so you can cut that off then later on with a tuner hacksaw, just there. You have loads more travel there anyway, so it should be okay. And that just helps you get it moving. It's a bit bent there as well, so we can at least salvage it that way. Cut her off nice and neat there. But once we get it off, we can use it. We can fix the slot in it by giving it a deeper slot with the likes of a hacksaw blade. Once we get it off, the thing is, these do get fair grooves in them. They wear into the rubber, so it can be a bit of a struggle getting them off. But that's just one way that you can. You have to get it off. That's one way you can do it. This is an original pipe. These pipes seem to be kind of two double layer pipe. I would like to get the Jubilee off, obviously, one piece. It's just to get it up out of them grooves that it's worn into. These original pipes are kind of a soft rubber, and the Jubilees usually do end up going down into the grooves they've kind of worn into. So it's just a matter of going around, trying to loosen it up, get a better screwdriver, trying to loosen it up out of the grooves and get it moving again. It does nearly kind of get stuck to it, like. It's probably, like, that's the Jubilee that's here on this since the early 1950s, like. So it's any wonder it's a little bit reluctant to move. I'm sure it was fairly happy where it was now. When you get these off, then you can kind of bend them back together, you know, and stuff like that. You can kind of manipulate them a little bit. Now, you might just be able to salvage this one. Be nice on a patina tractor. The patina is kind of important, but by God, I can tell you one thing. Do they get fairly stuck on that rubber, and the tracks they wear, and of course getting the rubber pipe off itself, you'd think it'd be an easy job. that is fairly well stuck to it as well. But with a bit of patience, you should be able to get them all off once you get them up off that. And of course I can't really loosen it much more because I damage the threads, but it still should be enough to wrangle it off, and it is. And now to fix this, what we can do is line them up straight, and then get your hacksaw and just slot him again. Re-slot him a bit deeper. That should do it. You can tidy up then a bit. You can tidy up a bit then. That, if you wanted it done to the hammer at this stage of the game, them threads are kind of shagged anyway. But that is very usable again, especially on there where you know it's going to fit. And you can kind of give these a bit of a manipulating here and there. You can kind of bend them a little bit in and out, and get them the right distance. So that's what I like about them. But by just, I can tell you one thing, the flathead slot, okay when you're fitting them brand new in a factory, but I tell you one thing, after that it's they weren't thinking about the man down the road trying to take them off, I can tell you. This is an awkward part to fit in the vise. I just wouldn't mind cutting off that pipe. It's actually not. Yeah, it is. Wouldn't use it again, but apart from there, it actually wasn't that bad. It's kind of a double layered pipe. Just to get somewhere there, just to hold it safely and get that cut off, I suppose is all I want to do. Then I can start cleaning it apart. Fair thickness in it. It doesn't cut very well, it's really sticky. Kind of a sticky sort of rubber. It was layer one anyway. Oh, there we go. Right. Yeah, it's rotten. So it's going to need a good bit of soaking. That lad there is probably going to have to come off. That's just too worn, too rusted, and have to close that gap there as well. That's meant to stay fairly steady. There's ways and means around doing that now. I've done them before. It's just, even if you get a turn on him, you get onto the wider side of that kind of stud sticking out. That helps. There was a modification on here where they put a nut and a bolt through. I managed to get the nut off, so we can go and retread him if we have to and put a nice nut on him. But that lad there, trying to get him off would be fun. He's well and truly stuck. But I think if you had to, you could drill it out and cut it and drill it out. Yeah, it's not impossible. Like all of them, it's fairly worn, but could probably be made useful again if we get this freed up here. This is meant to turn. This is, again, this you're meant to hold this and be able to move that. So yeah, well, look, that's okay. We can get that soaking, get it blown out the air gun, quick clean up with the wire wheel, and we might just be able to make something out of that. So we'll see. Heck of meat. Okay, so we've managed to get spanner on here. 11:30 seconds. We got this thing moving. So what that means is we should be able to turn it now onto the wider side, but I'm still going to have to close that gap. We can let it out a bit now onto wider metal, using out a good bit, and it's already a little bit better now. But we'll be able to fit a sleeve over this like we did on the Ferguson 20Ds we were working on, and take that rock out of it. So that's good. And then we just tighten in our lock nut there. That won't get in the way of that, and the fact that it's sticking out a bit more. So just to show you, that's what we're working on there. Okay, so with that moving anyway, so that's something. Yeah, the next one's a bit harder of a job. You have to hold that and try and get inside one moving. So it's going to take a bit more soaking, I'd say, to get that off. I'd love to get this out of here. So I would have cleaned it back a bit with the wire brush, but I have a feeling now we're not going to be able to get a grip on that. A good enough a grip to get that little nipply lad out. As I said, these are just a little bit awkward to hold in the vise. All the bits sticking out on them. It'd be bloody lovely if it came out. I have a feeling it'll sooner shear off than come out. Just fairly well, it's fairly well shot. I know some of these are just so bloody hard to get out in general, but yeah, be very careful that I don't break that off completely. Yeah, I'm not going to give up on it just yet. There's a better way of holding it there. But I'm going to take my time. I'm going to clean it up a bit more and spray a bit more stuff on it. Much to my surprise, and I mean, I thought this was going to be a goner. Now it's starting to move. I thought this was going to be a no-go here. There we go. It's starting to actually come out. Once that comes out, we can screw another one in, and these are in fairly short supply here, but I think I probably have one or two there that I could spare. Then we'll take him out and try and fit in an original one of these as well if I have a spare. Look at that. Never thought that was going to happen. Let's see, do we have a spare one here then? Here we do. We have a really bloody good one is what we have. Look at that. Some bloody threads in them, I can tell you. And again, I think they're 11:30 seconds, so that's the spanner now. Yeah, you usually don't. I don't usually have, but I found it there today. So I'll just put that in there roughly. I'm going to throw the old one in there. As much as it's all good. You never know. Don't like throwing them out at the same time. So we've this lad off here, right? There's another nut in there. Now this is really bloody corroded, like. You know, one of them nuts that's just literally kind of nearly gone cone shaped. Is that rusty and worn. But if we get them out, we might just be able to yeah, so someone's put all of this in, this spacer included. So if we get them out, now I mightn't be able to get a socket on there because I might get a long reach socket. We'll just see roughly what size he is. This could be imperial as well. Again, it's one of them ones that's just a little bit worn. So I want to make sure it's getting a bit of a grip on it first before. Yeah, okay, it's just turning there on it. Anyway, we will work on it. We can cut them out if we have to. Lovely. I'll keep tipping it, that's all. I tell you one thing, Mother Nature decides she wants to rust something in place. She has the powers to do it. We're here in two little spacers there. Okay, so now we're looking a little bit more complete. We can tap this now. The idea is to get this moving separate to that. That could be fun, but it should go. It's not seized inside. And you just start millimetre by millimetre. It will go. Eventually she will go, as long as that doesn't break off there. I think that's still solid, is it? Yeah, that's solid anyway, so that's good. So we'll get that to go. Once we get that going, oh, Jesus, I don't know. Bit of a clean up, and we'll see how it's like. It mightn't be the worst. It's been sitting up so long, it mightn't actually be that worn. These are all the factory connections, the wires here for maximum revs and tick over. So, like, there's your maximum revs. That hasn't been tampered with. You know, so there's no need in loosening them up. I often do, but there's no need, because you have to loosen them up. You have to go taking off the wire. So, once we get this moving, I'm just going to put it over in the parts washer there and let it soak a bit more, and we'll put a bit of a sleeve over him, take up the ears of wear, and that'll steady him up. We get him moving free and parts wash the hell out of it, polish it up with the wire wheel and the Dremel. We have the usable part. And with a little bit of gentle persuasion, you end up with that. Take your time. Needs another little bit of work, so I do want to sleeve that. I want to tap out that little pin, that roll pin there, take it all apart and give it a clean out. And maybe shot blast the casing, and never know, might get this one bushed. Since we have that out, we have that as well. Now that has been drilled at the looks of things, so I don't know, is this going to go in? We'll get our spanner and just see if there are any threads left in there. There mightn't be any threads left in there. And I might have a tap for that. It is just UNF. Okay, so one will thread in, yeah. Probably loosely like, but you can probably tap it. So yeah, that's not the end of the world now at all. Okay, promising. So I've given this roll pin a few taps and it ain't moving, so it's probably a drill out job. I have drilled them out before, you just take your time. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. To go from the state it was in to that is good now, I think. So I'm going to leave it there for this evening, but I'm just going to give you a quick other look at some of the parts. We've got a Zenith 24T2 from a TVO. So we'll see if we can get that working. I think the throttle is not stuck on it. I think I'm right in saying that it's not in the best nick in general now, but the throttle butterfly isn't stuck. I think the choke one is, so we'll try and get him going. It does have this here, which is nice because it doesn't always come with them, but it is fairly rusted. But look, we'll say nothing yet. We have to cut off a bit of the choke rod, that's okay, and we have the governor rod here, the throttle rod. So we'll try and get him off. If we can get the pin out of him, we'll be doing well to get that out, I'd say. But look, we'll try our best. So that'll be another video. There's a few videos I'm doing them up anyway. So they're all going to go back into the bucket. We've got another Kai gas here. So we'll tap out the rest of the rivets. Keep them soaking. It's very rare that these actually end up turning. So just be more for filling the gap in the dash. But we've got a few of them there on the shelf. I need this pipe here from my own tractor, so we'll have a go at taking him off as well. And we got some other little bits and pieces, like an original rotor arm here as well, Lucas, like the one the one up there, 408335. It's original. So we'll have a look at him and clean him up and see is he worn or not. He looks fairly good there now, in fairness. Yeah, move to oil, yeah, looks okay. And we got some Kai gas fittings here, like the injector that goes into in that manifold, and the banjo there, so we get that banjo off the pipe. A few of them there. Some original brackets for springs. Some of the original spring brackets for like the starter, return, some cable brackets, starter, a nice original badge with its screws are in there as well. Governor, what did I say? That's the governor adjuster bumper screw, yeah, that kind of stuff. Radiator lad there as well for positioning out the radiator from the engine. And some assorted little bits and pieces. Okay, and that's actually a little square lad that goes in there like that. So that's what's going to be coming up in the next video. So until then, we got that moving. We got our distributor fairly well stripped down. The case is just going soaking, and we might even be able to make a working distributor out of that. So I'm going to leave it there for tonight, so I'm going to catch you in the next one. Okay.